Lord says, I'm not asleep. I see everything. Just wait. It's all in my timing. Remember that everything is in God's time.
Beloved masters, an understanding of the elements
No, you
of
don't have to
fire,
make it slow.
air,
Not this
water,
one.
and earth, which are unique components, facets or elements of the nature of our Father, Mother God within this sub-universal experience, is vitally important as you seek greater wisdom and strive to claim self-mastery. These are the four major elements, which were encoded within the bodily system of the original human form to assist in self-realization and self-mastery on the material plane of existence. These elements are supplied to all created matter in this sub-universe via the great archangel's radiation of the 12 rays of God consciousness from the heart core essence of our Father, Mother God. The etheric body and soul self are attuned to and are fed by the element of cosmic fire. The mental body resonates to and is energized by the element of air, ether. The emotional body is attuned to and affected by the element of water. The physical body is anchored by and attuned to the element of earth, for the duration of each soul's journey into the realms of density, the first through the fourth dimensions. The qualities, attributes and virtues of the 7 rays of God consciousness for this solar system were placed within spheres of light. These spheres, known as chakras, were designed to spin at a very high velocity, which made them appear to be spinning cones of light radiating from the front and back of the physical body. Therefore, you are constantly radiating frequencies of light out into the world of form. The power of the vibrational patterns, as well as the frequency level of the harmonics you project, will determine whether you will experience joy, peace and abundance, or limitation, stress and discord. Every living cell within your body is a capacitor which stores memories and energy patterns. For every feeling there are endocrine gland secretions produced which match the vibrational patterns you emit. Therefore, you might say that there is a specific energy pattern of hate and an energy pattern of love, and so on in varying degrees, depending on the power, force and consistency of the energy you project. As you begin the journey of ascension back into the realms of light, you gradually lose density within the physical vessel, not necessarily body mass. However, your bodily form begins to resonate with higher and higher frequencies of light. Never before have so many masters of light walked the earth among the masses. Many brave souls were given the option of leaving the planet and continuing their mission from within the 6th dimensional celestial cities of light, or to continue their service to humankind within the framework of their chosen earthly environment. We wish you all to know that we are well pleased with those of you, the light bearers, who are steadfastly walking through the dense, shadowed valleys of darkness in order to create a pathway of light for others to follow. Gaining mastery of the 4 elements of God consciousness will assist you in creating a constant flow of sacred fire energy, adamantine particles of creator light, throughout the chakra system and the physical vessel. The etheric body vehicle is composed of the element of fire. In the beginning phase of your ascension process, the more refined vibrational frequencies of God consciousness must first filter through the etheric body before they gradually begin to flow freely throughout the physical vessel. You must slowly build up a tolerance for these refined frequencies of God light so that they do not create too much discomfort or do bodily harm. The sacred fire must flow through the heart chakra first, in order to be activated by your loving intention, before this elixir of life can freely flow throughout the body. Gradually, over time, as the frequencies of your soul song become more refined, you will be able to magnetize higher levels of cosmic primal life force substance, as well as greater quantities of adamantine particles of light. The air element focuses on the mental body, the plane of mental consciousness. The mental nature is fueled by the sacred breath of God consciousness. That is why the breathing techniques you have been given are so important. Soul awareness is the critical beginning phase of awakening to one's divine nature. The third eye, the pineal and pituitary glands, and the sacred mind are all critical components of the mental body. The emotional body is fueled via the element of water. The mental body provides the seed thoughts and the emotional body fuels the emotion or energy in motion. As we have often explained, your creations are either a product of the ego desire body or the desires and inspiration of the soul. The throat and the solar plexus are integral power sources for the emotional body. However, The full power of manifestation begins when you have tapped into the Kundalini sacred fire, or the adamantine particles of God light stored within the root chakra, and when you have completed the connection with your soul star and oversoul self so that you have access to the Antakarana, river of life. The activation and harmonization of the mental and emotional bodies and the merging of the lower and upper chakras via the heart chakra result in a merger of the Father God and Mother Goddess qualities, virtues and abilities within the physical vessel. Your level of godliness is predicated on the harmonic resonance of your soul song, or the dimensional levels in which you are attuned. The element of earth via the physical vessel is both an anchor and your means of soaring into the realms of light once more. You cannot ignore the physical vessel and still fulfill your earthly mission. If you deny the bodily form, you are denying your God-given uniqueness and the specific, complex form that you chose for this life's journey into the material realm of existence. You, along with the guidance of your guardian angels and your council of light, chose the appropriate DNA, ancestral lineage, the race, culture and circumstances you would be born into for this specific life's experience. A broad spectrum of tests, challenges and opportunities were programmed to give you the best opportunity for soul growth. These events were designed to be initiated at the appropriate times throughout your lifetime. As always, free will applies, and it is up to each person as to how she handles the tests and challenges, and takes advantage of the opportunities. Do you understand that each and every person is constantly releasing or emitting energy which originated from the God source? You are using this God-given gift of light, life in either a positive or a negative manner. Via your free will, to a great degree, you are the co-creator -- the builder of your own reality. Many of you are experiencing a transformation process of ascending in consciousness, along with physical evolution, whereby the Kundalini fire stored within the root chakra is moving swiftly up the chakra system and throughout the physical vessel. This too is a dynamic and vital part of the ascension process. We have asked our messenger to share with you an article which was prepared for one of her Wisdom Teachings webinar classes. Rana Sacred Scribe, overlaid by Archangel Michael. Fire of God, sacred white fire, and Kundalini fire are all terms used for adamantine particles of light, the fuel of life breathed forth from the heart core of the Supreme Creator. Kundalini, a Sanskrit word which literally means coiled. This sacred God fire lies coiled at the base of the spine, and until activated, it is dormant or at rest and unconscious. It is often envisioned as a sleeping serpent, hence a number of English renderings have been created using terms such as serpent power. The ancients tell us that the Kundalini resides within the root chakra at the base of the spine in 3.5 coils. It has been described as a reserve source of pure God fire. According to ancient wisdom teachings, there are 2 nerve currents in the spinal column, a coiled double helix within a hollow tube, sometimes called a rod of power, that runs along in front of the spinal column. Through meditation and various other spiritual practices, the Kundalini is awakened and begins to rise up through the chakra system alongside the spine. The progression of Kundalini fire through the different chakras leads to different levels of awakening and mystical experiences. When the Kundalini fire finally reaches the top of the head, the crown chakra, it sometimes produces a unique mystical experience as you are reconnected to the multiple facets of your higher self. The first major activation is usually felt in the back of the bodily torso, between the shoulder blades. You will feel a pressure in that area, which can sometimes be quite uncomfortable. This is an indication that the back portal of your sacred heart is opening. I have often said, when this happens, we are growing our angel wings. The second activation, the Kundalini fire rises to the top of the spine, where it connects to the medulla oblongata, sometimes called the mouth of God. This is an indication that the ascension chakra is being activated. This activation will also affect the throat chakra. Practicing the infinity breath and toning will accelerate this process, as they will help to break through any distorted energy blocks along the spinal column and within the chakra system. The throat chakra is one of the critical areas within the body, which can cause distress as we strive to reclaim our personal power via the means of spoken language. The third activation, the pineal and pituitary glands are stimulated, and will begin to send impulses to the portal opening of the sacred mind so that full access to your personal temple of wisdom is realized. In addition, a firm reconnection with your soul star and oversoul higher self is established. When this is accomplished, your spiritual journey back into the higher realms will truly begin. Also, at this point you are ready to receive the sacred fire of spirit minus adamantine particles of creator light will automatically begin to course into your sacred heart with every breath. The driving upward force of serpent fire is now accompanied by a downpouring of adamantine particles via your oversoul higher self, which resides within your soul star. You must activate these particles of creator light with your loving intention as they course throughout your physical vessel, with the remainder flowing down into the earth, and then out into the world for the benefit of the earth and all humanity. As the Kundalini, sacred fire, begins to rise up your spinal column, the etheric tube of light, you may experience times of intense inner heat while your exterior body will feel cold and perhaps even clammy. That is the reason why, initially, it is best to strive for a gradual release of the Kundalini fire stored within the root chakra so that you may slowly become acclimated to the integration of higher and higher frequencies of God light. Remember, dear friends, as beloved Michael often tells us, faster and more are not always better when you are in the midst of the transformational process of ascension. As a self-master, you will begin to experience a constant uprising flow of inner sacred fire along with a downward thrust of divinely encoded spiritual fire. This process will spur you on to a greater, expanded awareness, more inspired thought, and the activation of capabilities of which you were not even aware. Bounteous blessings, miracles and assistance from our friends of the higher realms will become the norm. You will also be given an opportunity to become an active, full-fledged world server, along with the great multitude of world servers from all over the planet. I, for one, am excited about what the future holds for us. The way showers. My mantra for 2019 will be, this is our year to shine. Eternal love and angel blessings. Rana, Archangel Michael, my brave bearers of light. It is important that you realize that each phase of the divine plan is holographically imprinted upon the Earth's auric field. Remember, there are memory seed atom codes and impulses, which have been or will be ignited within each of you at the appropriate time. No matter your beliefs, the celestial winds of change are growing stronger and stronger as they permeate everything and everyone on Earth. All must evolve or devolve. Nothing can remain static. We encourage you to take advantage of the unprecedented opportunities which are constantly being offered to you. Know that we are with you every step of the way, onward and upward. You are loved most profoundly. I am Archangel Michael.
Remember who got the key? Listen to this one.
Golden key to ascension and healing. The first golden key is the key to the foundation of life and all spiritual practice, and is the key of unconditional love. The key of unconditional love is the golden key supreme. It is the golden key which is at the heart of the manifestation of any healing, ascension, or leadership. Love is the most important spiritual practice of all. Love is the foundation of all spiritual practice. There are many spiritual teachers who have great information and who can be great channels or psychics. But if love is not the foundation of everything that you do, then the realization of God cannot be attained. The golden keys of love mean all thoughts of attack need to be released. The golden keys of love mean that we never attack, even if we are attacked by others. During our spiritual practice, we must go to any lengths to maintain an attitude of love, no matter how we may be attacked or betrayed. It is okay to stand up for yourself and stand in your own power, but this must be done with tough love. This can be a challenging lesson for some people, as transforming all attack thoughts to love requires humility. What Christ said about turning the other cheek and loving your enemies. Transforming all attack thoughts to love relates to seeing everything through your Christ mind. See everything through the eyes of God and your heart of love. The next key of unconditional love is to remain in love, oneness, and peace in all situations. This golden key is remaining committed to love, oneness, and peace at all times. Remaining in love, oneness, and peace should be your guiding precept of everything that you do. Try to always maintain this attitude when dealing with people who are competing or comparing themselves with you, or who may be dealing with you in an egotistical manner. When you remain in love, oneness, and peace, then it leads to an instant attitude of forgiveness at all times. Forgiveness both for others and yourself. Look at every situation as a spiritual test to see if you can remain in the state of consciousness, which is love, oneness, and peace. The next spiritual key of unconditional love is practicing the presence. This means that you realize that if you want to be like God, then you have to act like God. Every person, every animal, every plant and mineral is God's love incarnate, is made in God's image. Practice greeting every person as if they were a master like Jesus or Buddha or Sai Baba. When you practice greeting everything as a master, you develop tremendous love for animals and all people. Instead of just thinking about God or feeling God, we must each be God. This is an important spiritual practice for all. The next golden key of unconditional love is called the Holy Instant. The Holy Instant is, I am the Christ, you are the Christ, we are all perfect, and we are all one with each other and one with God. In reality, everything else is just an illusion. In the Course in Miracles it says, nothing can be threatened because nothing unreal exists. And herein lies the peace of God. You do not try and become God, you are already God. The spiritual path is undoing or cleaning off the mud on the diamond. Our faulty thinking has identified with the mud instead of the diamond light. In the Holy Instant, this is all released and seen as never real in the first instance. The next golden key of love is to see everyone as God, to see God in every person. This is called the Holy Encounter. This is also a term from the Course in Miracles, which states that every meeting with a brother or sister is a holy encounter. Every exchange between two people is Christ meeting Christ, or God meeting God. You could also see it as seeing the innocence in each person, seeing that which is divine. This ideal leads to unconditional love, for if each person is God and the eternal self, then nothing but love can follow. When we see God in every person, then we see beyond the appearances of the physical, the emotional, and the mental bodies, and we see the true core of every person. The world is a mirror of our own thinking. So in truth, what we see in our brothers and sisters is what we are seeing in ourselves. To heal oneself, one must see God in every person as well as oneself. This also applies to how one sees the opposite sex. Do you see a person as a physical body first, or as God living in a physical body?
Okay. Your universal harmonics. How does that fit with what we watched today? Our harmonics are out of tune until we work on ourselves, lift up ourselves, open up ourselves, listen to ourselves and others. We become harmonic as we heal. Before that, our harmonics are like someone's trying to sing opera with no training, trying to sing along with the song and not quite getting there, even though in your mind you're singing just like the professional. Our harmonics is heard throughout the universe, not just here on the planet. That is how the great ones keep observing us, listening to the harmonics coming from our energy fields. And as we start raising up that harmonics into a more harmonic state, they know that we're ready for another step in our evolution. The ascension process is happening constantly. Every little step and stage is very important. You and I, we know what we've done, what we've said, how we acted in circumstances, and we regretted it with all of our hearts. We know what our intentions are and were at the time. And that is what we need to heal. When we intentionally hurt, attack, criticize, blame, that is on us. We are purposely intending to hurt. But when we don't intend to hurt, and we just do something that happens, we didn't even plan it, and we speak, that is when you know that it's not on you, that you did something that was necessary at that moment, that you brought something to someone else that they needed to hear or to know or to feel. That's why we need to just be genuine, allow ourselves to just do what we do, say what we say. If we don't like what we're doing, to correct it in the privacy of your own home or wherever you go to do your inner work. When you are genuine, when you are real, you become somebody very special. People seek people that are genuine. They want you to be honest with them. People always came to me and asked my opinion because they knew I would tell them the truth. If it wasn't that it was very good answer, I would be very gentle. And yet I would say the truth. And because my intention was to be honest, they took it well. When you are willing to be who you are, who you came to be, and what you came to fulfill, your life starts to flow very nicely. Believe me, you are already what you wish to be. Already. You just got to get everything out of the way that you hold against yourself, that you don't love yet in yourself. That's all. And then you will be feeling and knowing of your divinity. It isn't something you have to tell anybody or ask them if they see it in you. You have to see it in you. And then you would have no reason to ask anybody else, because you would know who you are, the light in the world. You came back out of the higher planes for this very auspicious time on the planet. You sacrifice your heaven worlds to come here and help humanity. Yes, we still had things to clean up and to forgive ourselves for, and to forgive others. That was the karma that we said, you know what? I've got to take this and do something with it. I've just got to finish up. This is the lifetime to do it. If I ever gave anybody any good advice, it's this. Open up your heart to yourself. Feel the intense need that you have to be completely honest with yourself. You can be dishonest with others if you care to. But you know what? The energy behind your words is going to tell them the truth. They'll know that you're saying, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay, but they'll know you're not, because they can feel it. Now it's time for you to feel yourself and say to yourself, you know what? I might as well just tell God, because God already knows what's going on inside me. I'm miserable, I'm hurt, I'm sad. People are suffering that I love, and they need me to love them. Everybody's playing a part to show us who we are. We can hardly believe that sometimes some of the people that we're facing is showing us something inside ourselves. It's energy from old times, nothing to do with the holy moment, but everything to do with where you're going, your desire to ascend out of this 3-4D misery. It's time. If you can't be honest with yourself, how are you going to heal? Don't be in denial of anything. Whatever is going on inside you, address it. Everybody's trying to show us something. What is it for you? What annoys you about others? Get rid of it inside you. What makes you want to run from someone? Get rid of it inside you. What is it that makes you want to be with somebody? Embrace it. There you are. You see, it's not just the good and not just the bad. It's everything. Is your world the way you want it right now? Is your world getting better? Is your world feeling like it's holding you back or slowing you down? Fix it inside you. When Jesus said, "Healer, heal thyself," he wasn't kidding around. Because anything that's happening out there is happening because of something we believe inside us, our consciousness. The world is miserable. It really is. It's because it's meant to be. It has to show us everything we need to see. Jesus said, "Give unto Caesar that which belongs to Caesar, and give unto God that which belongs to God." Our souls belong to God. And we're here to give as much information on life, every aspect of life that we can, to our soul that came in to learn, to understand life from every angle. Over the millennia, we have learned a great deal and forgotten a lot of it, but it's still in your Akashic record. In that sacred mind, you will be able to filter that information back into your conscious mind. As the Kundalini moves up your spines, if you're feeling a lot of pain in your back or soreness or stiffness, that Kundalini is in movement. When I was in the Great Pyramid is when mine hit the crown. It was so painful, I thought I was going to die there. But it isn't that way for everybody. I just was ready at that time. It goes slow, and don't try to force it. Believe me, you'll be so sorry you do. I didn't force it. I was just ready. And yes, it felt like acid going up my spine. But if it's going slow, which it's going to happen for you, it's not going to be that bad. You'll feel like you have a backache. Sometimes once it reaches the heart chakra area, it's going to feel uncomfortable in your upper body. But anybody that's having back pain, don't worry about it unless you have an injury. Then, of course, you have to treat the injury. Just a minute, Lord Maitreya is saying something. So what he would like me to say to you is this. All of you, he said, are very advanced souls. It's not like you have that much to work on, but what you do have to work on is very important. You don't want to carry that weight of the past with you. Do not be afraid to face the fire of yourself, of the shadow. He said that each one of you has a team of great beings of light around you. They are trying so much to work with you, but you must call them into your day. And before you go to bed, make sure you invite them. They cannot interfere if you don't call them, unless there's an extreme situation that you didn't even have an opportunity to ask for help. If you only realize the magnificence of your souls, of the light that you are, it is so blazing, gorgeous, brilliant light. Did you ever see a flash of light in the sides of your eyes and it makes you like jump? You just saw your own light from your soul. The saying that you could not look into the face of God because it would blind you is about looking at the soul, the brilliance of the light that you are. When they were saying that you are God, meaning that you are a living soul, this eternal being, that is what God is. There is the supreme creator, and then there are gods and goddesses. And that magnificent light, you couldn't really look at it full-faced because it would blind you. That's how bright your light is. When I see an energy field, I see colors. The soul is not showing me to blind me with the white light. I get to see the emotional body and the mental body so that I can see and feel what's going on and help those that seek help. When we're doing the forum, I am completely connected to each one of you in my heart. That's why it's so important to be muted, because sounds will trigger me if I'm not expecting them. And then whoever it was that did that, they break the cord from my heart. Don't want to do that, because we're feeding each other all the gifts that we have. We're sharing it with each other. That's why it's so important to have your camera on, because if I see something, I can direct light into it. We're given gifts not to be anything special, but to give love and help and assistance to each other. To care enough to want to share that light in places where somebody's hurting, somebody's mourning, somebody's confused. That's what love is. That's your nature. That's our natural state of being, the state of love. And when we're not in that space, when we harden ourselves because we're hurt, angry, fearful, it diminishes that feeling inside you. It's you that's suffering. And then those that know in their heart of hearts who you are and what your part is in this great plan of God's and your personal missions, they're very disappointed in you that you're not carrying that light and sharing it with them. Remember, as you go up, even an increment, you go deeper down into your shadow world. And that brings up stuff for you to deal with. Deal with it like a master. Have no fear, because nothing that comes to you is going to overpower you. You are the goddess or God in this house, meaning your body and fields. You're here to heal it. There's nothing to be afraid of. Are you afraid of yourself? No. And the parts that we played where we weren't exactly who we are today, it was necessary. We were in service. We're so fortunate to be at the place that we are at this time. This is the holy moment. One moment That's all it is. And it keeps moving forward. Everything you think and feel at this moment is carried into the next. Make sure you remember to be in peace, in love, in gratitude, a blessing, even a gift to others. As it was saying in the video, when you look at somebody, don't seek to find their faults. Seek to find their beauty. Even if physically they're not, they may be very beautiful if you just get to listen and feel who's really inside that body. We take on a physical form to serve us in each lifetime, depending on what our missions are, what we're trying to accomplish, what we came to do. Sometimes we take on a form, but we get so hooked on that form that that's our everything, what our outer countenance is. And we get absorbed in it and forget about everything else. The only important thing is your soul, because that's what's eternal. Yes, it's very important to take care of your vessel. That's your vehicle here in 3 and 4D. Once we lift it up into a body of light, no more worries. That's the least of our concerns. That was my problem. I never thought about my body. It was on its own. I forgot I had to take care of it. Don't you forget. But don't be so self-absorbed in it that you forget your spiritual growth. You are not experiencing life right now like the multitudes are. I promise you that's true. If you were, you wouldn't be sitting here peacefully. I can tell you right now. If you allow yourself to get hooked into the drama, it does tug you down, and you don't experience as much peace as you would hope to. That's why I suggest you concentrate on the things that are going to be beautiful and holy. Take in everything that's so nourishing to your soul. Beautiful music, beautiful scenery, sounds, everything. If you watch a horror movie, you've just lowered yourself in frequency. It's all from the 4 negative, and it's like Stephen King novels. It will really take you down, and it's very hard to just pull yourself out of that. Nourish yourself in every way. Take time out from your busy lives. Be with you. See what it feels like to just be still and just be with you. If you can't sit still or be by yourself and you've got to be talking to others or be with others, you might want to check the conditions. What is it that I'm running from? When I was a young mother and wife and in maybe my early 30s, I never had a minute that I didn't have something I had to do. Why did I do that? I was counseling somebody, and all of a sudden it dawned on me, I do the same thing. And I wanted to know why. Well, I had work to do inside that I didn't want to deal with. And so I got right on it. Soon as I realized what it was, when you get inspired, get right on it and do what you need to do. Remember to get your rest. Remember to eat very nourishing food. You won't need that much food when you eat right, because your body will have everything it needs. Yes, you can have an ice cream cone if you want it, but limit that. Limit the things that you know are going to bring too much sugar in your body or too much this or that. Read the labels. Debbie Russo and I went on a little hunt to see what is going on with the food industry. And we couldn't find one bag of potato chips that didn't say it was bioengineered. We couldn't find many foods. Mayonnaise, Hellmann's mayonnaise, bioengineered. We were shocked to see how many products are GMO'd. They're more so using the term bioengineered now because everyone's too familiar with GMO'd. Try to avoid those things. Eat live foods, vegetables and fruits, and yes, meats are fine. Just make sure that they're coming from a good source, perhaps even, grass-fed and out and having a good life in a field rather than in a cage or in a building. Try to take steps to do things to help yourself and your body. Wayne Dyer made this I Am video. It's very long, but it's all just music and toning, and you'll learn how to tone if you listen to it. For those that didn't remember to send me a request for it, please send it to the email that I send off the invitations to the forum. And you'll be able to, I'll send it right to you. Yeah, she's showing that she has it. Yeah. So it's very beautiful. It is, he explains in the beginning about the I Am and how the music came to be. And what I noticed was, if anyone watches The Chosen, they use this music in the background, the same music, because it is from a very beautiful source and has an ancient history to it. So I leave it playing quietly on my desk as I'm working. The only time I don't have it on is when I'm counseling, so I can focus on who I'm with. And it brings tears to my eyes just listening to the toning, remembering how beautiful it was to do this myself for so many years. Only we projected our voice very, very strongly. This is very gentle. It would probably be a little upsetting if it wasn't. So when St. Paul had said to concentrate on the things that are beautiful and holy and sacred, this is what he was talking about. Because if you have your mind on things that aren't, what it does is corrupts you. It really does. It starts to corrupt you. And you don't want to get hooked into that, especially at this time when it is so easy, because it's out there everywhere you go. All this nonsense that has come up, all this craziness that is happening in the world. You don't want to be any part of that. You don't want to bring it into your life personally. You don't want to have anyone you love involved in it. Just separate yourself from the world of craziness. Concentrate on the things that are going to feed and nourish you. Yes, those of you that are working, you can bring that light to everybody that you're with. The peace that you have in your heart will bring peace to them. That emanates out because everything is energy. It isn't just a thought or a thing. It's actually energy that's being projected from you. The world depends on you. You concentrate on what's right in front of you. You're not here to save the world. You're here to concentrate on what's right in front of you and what's inside you. What has everyone in our life shown us? That's what we work on. We don't need to be beat up. We don't need to be reminded. We've had the experience and now we can work on it. Those of you that are in a relationship that is miserable and abusive, you need to really clear out your emotions. Don't hold it in. You've suffered, and you've suffered a lot. We've all been in situations that are painful. Friends, family, lovers, spouses. It's not easy to be here. But these people came on contract to work with us, to show us something inside ourselves, or even just to bust the walls we put around our heart so that we can feel on the deepest levels of our being and start feeling the emotions that are inside us that we haven't let escape yet. When people use the term lighten up, they're not kidding. The weight of 3D and 4 negative energy is dragging us down. Let it go. Only you can let it go. Nobody's going to fix you. Nobody's going to heal you, even if they make that claim as a healer. What they can do, especially with body work and acupuncture and pressure, they can help you by opening you up and having everything on the surface so that you can release it. I just will it to be so. I ask to be free, and that's exactly what I get. Do you want to be free? Because freedom only happens inside you. It doesn't matter what's happening outside you. But if you don't feel free outside you, that means you have work to do to free yourself inside. This is mastery. Learning how to manage yourself in a 3 and 4 negative dimension. This is how we become a master over life. It no longer rules you, not even the stars or the moon or anything that people tell you has control over you. Only when you're in the negative side of your own sign, of your own consciousness, where you have not come into a state of awakening and awareness of self, of life, your life. Live your life and let others live theirs. Let them go through what they need to. Don't save people from pain and suffering. They'll never learn how to do it themselves if we do that. So your universal harmonics are going out into the universe. It's the universe, not just the atmosphere here. That's how big and magnificent you are and significant. You are significant in divine plan of God. And you're echoing out everything that you are into the universe. Make sure you're echoing out the love that you are. If you don't feel that you are, and you're having day after day tribulation, feeling as if it's not going well, if it's constantly happening, address it. Cry for your suffering to move out some of the emotion so that you can feel on a deeper level of exactly what's going on inside you. There's a big world out there. Not all of it is going to be something you're going to be subjected to, but whatever it is right in front of you is for you. Pay attention, take in everything, look for the good and beauty in others, and they'll be looking for that in you. Don't put on this whole big play, making believe we're so high and mighty, and oh, we're so awake, and oh, we are so learned. Believe me, go out there and see what others say, because God speaks to us through other people. Listen, pay attention. If it's a message that hurts, it's not coming from God. It's a day, it's a moment for you to realize there was work to be done with that level of energy. You see, everything is serving us. Everything. The beauty, the pain, everything serves us in one way or another. So take your experience and use it to heal yourself. Take other experiences that are beautiful and blessed and nourish yourself with it. There I am. Be willing to admit that no matter what the experience. There I am. For those of you that are struggling because you keep trying to figure it out mentally, give me an email. Ask me to work with you, and we can get beyond this state, because I suffered with that for a very long time. I couldn't disconnect from my head, and I couldn't get to the heart of it, which is working through my heart. And I understand the struggle, and I understand how it sets your world in a very difficult spin. And I can help you through that. Sometimes we just need to hear from somebody else's experience so that they can have just a tidbit of information that could take them to the other side of this. I am always available. God moves everything around so that anybody that needs help gets it. That is my life's work, and I don't want to be without that. So if you need me, don't worry about, oh, she's so busy. Believe me, time means nothing. God works it all out. So you keep a good sense of yourself. Look at each day as a great opportunity for growth, for understanding, for joy, for enjoying your life. Seek to enjoy it. If anything else happens, well, you'll deal with it. Don't look for it. Just live your life. Do what you want to do that will be fulfilling and a blessing. If you feel your life is just sitting and serving somebody else, you're missing out on a lot of joy for yourself, because that can't be your only joy of serving others. You've got to find some joy inside yourself that is very much something for you. That is not something that you're holding back on. It's something you have to address your needs. Because if you're just addressing everybody around you, you will feel very depleted. All of a sudden, you're going to say to yourself, I don't even have a life. I'm living vicariously through everybody else's needs. Be very careful with that. I did it at one time, and I was burnt to a crisp. That's like burning the candle on both ends. Not good. Not good. You are a sovereign being, and so is everybody else. They need to go through what they need to go through. You're not here to be the savior. He was here, and now he's in another plane, but he's still working with you. You're here to work on yourself and to be a blessing to the world by doing that. That's how you serve the world.